The next operator that we are going to discuss is the increment and the decrement operator. So from the name increment and decrement, we can see that we can perform increment operation and decrement operation by using this operator. Increment means it will increase the value, decrement means it will decrease the value, always by 1. By 1 increment it will increase by 1, by 1 decrement it will decrease by 1. For example, the value of x is 5. The x is 5. Now if I perform increment on that, that is x plus plus, so the value of x will become 6. That means it will increase the value by 1. And if I perform x minus minus, then the value of x will become 4. That means it is decreasing the value of 1. So that is as simple as that, increment and decrement operator. But there are two types of increment and decrement operator. One is called pre, another one is called post. Same is for decrement also. So I will give an example with the increment operator. Pre-increment and the post-increment. In case of decrement also it will be applicable in similar way. So in case of pre-increment and post-increment, the first difference is that in both the cases I will consider the same condition. Here the value of x is 5. Here also I have considered the value of x as 5. So in both the cases I have considered the value of x is equal to 5. Now we have taken another value, variable, that is y is equal to plus plus x, and here it is y is equal to x plus plus. So here you can see the difference between representation of pre-increment and post-increment. It is plus plus x pre and x plus plus, that is post. Pre means you know that is previous and post means later. Now that is the not only the difference. Now the result will also different because of this performance, how the operation is going to be performed. So if you look at this operation, you can identify two operators are there. This is so here we have the assignment operator as well as the increment operator. Here also we have the assignment operator, that is y equals to, so equals to is the assignment operator, then x plus plus, increment operator. So basically two operation is there. One is assignment, another one is increment. Here is also assignment and increment. Now pre means always previous, pre means always previous, and post means later. So which operation will be executed first and which operation will be executed last, that is the difference. So in case of pre-increment, first number one it will perform the increment operation, then it will perform the assignment operation. But in case of post it will be just opposite. The assignment operation will be first, then it will perform the increment operation. So it will be assign first, then it will perform the decrement operation. That means here first the value of x will be incremented. First the value of x will be incremented. So the value of x was 5. So due to this increment operation, the value of x will become 6. The value of x will become 6, number 1. Number 2, then it will perform the assignment operation. What the assignment is? Y equals to x. That means in y variable it will store the incremented value of x. In y variable it will store the incremented value of x because already increment operation has been performed. So the value of y will also be 6, which is the incremented value of x. But in case of post, it will be opposite. Why? First it will perform the assignment operation. So the value of x will not be incremented first. The value of x will be incremented after the assignment. The value of x will be incremented after the assignment. Sorry, it will be incremented. The value of x will be incremented after the assignment operation. So the value of y is equals to 5. Because the value of x is 5, we have not yet incremented the value. So the value of x is still 5. So this value we have assigned into y. After that it will increase the value of x, then it will be 6. Okay. So in pre-increment, y hold the updated or the incremented value of x, but in post increment y hold the previous value or the first value of x in y. But in both the cases increment is done. Here also you can see the value of x is 6, here also you can see the value of x is. So in both the cases the value of x will increase, but the increment or the increment operation will be performed either in case of pre it will be performed before assignment, and in case of post it will be performed after assignment. Increment will be done, that is similar, but the sequence it will come first or it will come last, that is depending on pre or post. And the same logic is also applicable for decrement operation also, where you can increase when the decrement will be done before the assignment in case of pre-decrement, and in case of post-decrement the decrement operation will be done after the assignment operation. So that is all about the increment and decrement operation, that is, and also pre and post. Okay. So these are the main operators that we have in C programming. There are some special operators are there. For example, comma is a operator that we use in case of C for separation. That means so here you can see we are using the comma operator. The purpose of comma is that to separate two variables. A is a variable, B is another variable. So these two variables separately we can write by using comma. If I write AB and A comma B, the difference is that AB it will be treated as a single variable. AB will be treated as a single variable, one variable. And here A and B, this is variable number 1, this is variable number 2. So two separate variables are there. So using comma we can separate two variables. If comma is not there in between these two variable name, then it will be treated as a single variable. So that's why comma is also called a operator. Another operator is there, that is called size of operator. Using size of operator we can find out size of any data type. If I write this x equal to size of int, that means integer, or you can write x equal to size of float, you can write x equal to size of char. So that means here we are adding the data type, and using size of operator you will get the size of that integer. As we know, the size of the integer is 2, the size of character is 1, and the size of the float is 4 byte. So here the value of x will be 2. If you just replace this integer, replace this integer by float, then the value of x will be 4. Basically, using size of operator we are getting the size or what amount of memory is allocated for this particular data type. In the main memory, what amount of memory is allocated. So not only by using the data type, using variable name also we can do it. For example, I have taken a variable integer a. Now if I write size of a, then it will find out what is the memory allocated for a variable, what amount of memory is allocated for a variable. So as a is an integer type data, that means 2 byte will be allocated for this a. So here also the value of x will be 2. So in that way, by using size of operator we can find out size of any data type or size of any particular variable. So these are some special types of operator. So throughout this 3 lecture, we have discussed different operators in C. Arithmetic operator, using which we can perform arithmetic operation. We have used assignment operator, using which we can perform different assignment operations. That means we can assign values to a variable. We have discussed relational operator, using which we can find out or we can verify relation between 2 variables. We have discussed conditional operator, using which we can execute a particular statement depending on a condition. We have used logical operator, where using logical and logical or we can merge multiple conditions in a single statement. We can merge multiple conditions. Then we have discussed bitwise operator, using which we can perform different bitwise and, or, not, shifting operation, etc. We have discussed increment and decrement operator, using which we can increase or decrease value of a variable. It may be pre, it may be post, and we have discussed some size of operators in this 3 lecture. That is all about the operators in C. Now another point is that these different operators in C we can divide into 3 categories. One is unary operator, binary operator, and ternary operator. Unary, binary, and ternary operator. So what is unary, binary, and ternary operator? So this category of unary, binary, and ternary is basically depending on number of operands we are using this operator. Number of operand we are using to perform these types of operation. For example, unary operator means this operator will perform operation on one operand. Binary operator means these operations or these operators will perform the operation on 2 operand, and ternary operator means that these operations will be performed on 3 operands or 3 arguments. Okay, so if I give example of unary operator, as we have discussed increment or decrement, if I say a plus plus or plus plus a, whatever it is, or x minus minus or minus minus x. So here you can see this pre or post or pre increment, post or pre decrement, whatever increment or decrement operation is there, that we are performing. To perform this operation we need only one operand. We can increase the value of one operand only. We cannot write a plus plus b. It basically has no meaning. So using this increment operator we cannot perform operation on 2 operand. Using increment operation we can perform operation on only one operand. That's why pre-increment, increment or decrement is called unary operator. Now if I come to binary operator, so it will perform operation on 2 operand. For example, if I write a equals to, what does it mean? It means nothing. If I write a plus, it also means nothing. If I perform a and, okay, similar, if I perform a greater than b, logical and, okay. So all these operands or operators you can see has no meaning until there is another operator, until there is another operand. So if I write a plus, it means nothing, and whenever I place b here, it becomes a plus b. Now it has a meaning. That means this operator, to perform this operation using this operator, 2 variable or 2 operand is required. Same here also, a equals to has no meaning. If I write a equals to b, whenever I place the second operand here, then it becomes a meaning that the value of b will be assigned to a. Here also if I write a and, no meaning. If I write a and b, now it will perform logical AND operation between these 2 variable a and b. Here also this is a condition, a greater than b, and nothing is there. So that means which two conditions we will merge? Second condition is required. Until and unless there is another condition, this logical AND operation has no meaning, because logical AND is used to merge two conditions. So we need another condition here. That is, for example, A greater than C. So A greater than B and A greater than C. So that's why these all are called binary operator, where minimum two operand is required. Where two operand is required to perform this operation using these operators. So basically arithmetic operator, assignment operator, bitwise operator, logical operator, that all are types of binary operator where minimum two operand is required. And the third one is ternary. Third one is ternary operator. Ternary operator means condition, question mark, true statement, colon, false statement. So here you can see how many arguments are there. Condition number 1, true statement, second argument, false statement, third argument. So here using this conditional operator, if we want to execute, then 3 argument is required. So the first argument is the condition, second argument is true statement, the third argument is false statement. That's why this conditional operator is called ternary operator. So 3 operators is there: unary, that performs operation on only one operand; binary, that perform operations on 2 operand; and ternary operator, that perform operation on 3 argument. So these are the category, that operators that we have discussed. That operators we can divide into these 3 categories depending on number of operand it takes to perform the operations. Thank you.
So this is the program through which we can differentiate the pre-increment and post-increment operation. So theoretically, as already we have discussed, this I++, that is basically called post-increment operation, where the increment operation will be done at the end. So j and I, 2 variable we have taken, the value of I, which is initially 5, and in j we assign the value of I and we perform the post increment on I. Now if I execute the program and print the value of I and j, you can see here in output we are getting the value of I as 6 and j as 5. So as you can see, in j variable, when we assign the value of I, the previous value of I get assigned to j, that's why the value of j is 5, and the increment operation is performed on I, so the value of I becomes 6. It was 5, now it is 6. But j variable holds the previous value of I, not the updated value of I. Now if I just change it to pre-increment, so as we know it is pre-increment operation. Now if I compile and run the program, so now you can see here, as we have discussed, the value of I and j both are 6. So the value of I is 6 because increment operation is performed. It may be pre, it may be post, but it is increment, so at the end the value of I will obviously increase. The question is, in j, which value of I get assigned? In post increment in j, the previous value of I assigned, but when I convert it into pre-increment, you can see that the value of j is 6. That means the updated value of I get assigned to j. So that is the difference that we can visualize in these two programs. Difference between pre-increment and post-increment.